Relax your body, feel your breath slow, let your hands rest, your muscles soften. There's no need to hurry, just listen to the soft rhythm of your own breaths, in and out, like the tip-tap of tiny clockwork gears. Our story today begins in a humble village, tucked beneath rolling hills. No tall spires of stone dominate here, only low, thatched cottages where smoke curls gently from chimneys and the scent of wood smoke lingers in the air. By day, villagers glance to the sun to mark the hour. When dusk falls, they listen for the bell in the churchyard to softly toll each passing hour. High above, in a small workshop built into the side of a sloping street, lives an old watchmaker named Eamon. His workshop windows glow with amber light as evening settles. He doesn't craft grand clocks for wealthy nobles. His creations are for the soul, not for gold. One by one he winds them in the hush of night, not for sale, but simply to hear their soft, rhythmic ticking fill the quiet spaces. Long ago, before mechanical clocks were common, medieval folk told time by watching candles drip, each drop marking minutes, or by the deep, echoing tolls of church bells. In villages just like this, people felt comforted by these measured beats of nature. Eamon, still rooted in that gentle tradition, fills his workshop with the same nourishing hush. Soft pause. Inhale slowly. Exhale just as gently. Allow your mind to drift into that warm glow of the watchmaker's room. Amid wooden shelves lined with tiny gears and brass springs, Eamon sits at a low table. His hands are steady and careful. He picks up a small pendulum clock, the kind with a delicate wooden case and a door made of glass. With a quiet click, he opens it, sees the tiny pendulum swing like a restful heartbeat, and gives it a gentle wind. Immediately, a soft tick-tock begins. Close your eyes, imagine that sound. Tick, tock, lullaby of time, a serene rhythm echoing in the quiet. Eamon gently places the clock on a shelf next to others that tick with their own unique pulse. He lights a small oil lamp, watching the flame tremble and flicker across the brass gears. The warm glow dances gently around the room, and with each beat of the pendulums, a wave of calm drifts outward, through the door into the starlit street, into the cool night air. Outside, the trees whisper, their leaves rustling softly in the breeze. Somewhere distant, a cat pads along the rooftops, and the crisp night air carries the muted murmur of sleeping villagers. Each soft sound blends with the ticking clocks and tremulous lamplight to form a quiet symphony of rest. Deep breath. Imagine yourself there, seated in a wooden chair. Feel its polished arms supporting you. A soft blanket rests across your lap. The gentle touch of the blanket's wool comforts you, soothes you. Allow your thoughts to slow. Let them gentle down. With each tick, you feel more relaxed. With each tock, your thoughts drift further away. The faint crackle of a hearth fire at one side of the room warms the air. You breathe it in, earthy wood, faint honey smoke, and you exhale, sinking deeper into calm. Eamon's voice is soft, but he doesn't speak yet. He listens to his own breathing, matches it to the clock's rhythm. He hums a silent tune that drifts in the dim light, kind and soothing. In those moments, dawn seems far away, the weight of tomorrow light. Only now exists this safe, gentle space of tick-tocks, flickering flame, and soft night breeze. Pause. Soon, Eamon will tell you how time doesn't hurry here. It flows like honey, dripping slowly from a candle's wick, melting measured moments into dreams. But for now, just listen and breathe. Outside the watchmaker's cottage, night has folded its arms gently around the village. The moon rests high, casting pale silver across thatched rooftops and cobbled lanes. It's the kind of night where even the owls whisper, and inside all is still but for the quiet ticking of dozens of handmade clocks, each with its own little heart. Eamon stands slowly from his workbench, his joints creaking as softly as the old floorboards beneath his slippers. He makes his way toward the corner of the room where the oldest of his clocks rests, an ancient wooden timepiece, taller than he is, carved with the faded images of stars and wheat stalks. He calls it the midnight bell, though it hasn't chimed in years. Still he keeps it wound, for its pendulum swings smooth and slow, like the breathing of the earth itself. He places his hand gently against its wooden side and closes his eyes. Tick, tock, tick. It soothes him, reminds him of when he was a child, listening to the soft beat of this very clock as his mother baked sweetbread in the stone hearth behind him. Imagine it now. A warm loaf rising, steam curling toward low wooden beams, the comforting scent of flour and rosemary mingling with candle wax and wool. The world felt safer then, quieter, slower, and so he built his life to keep it that way. Eamon doesn't sell his clocks to nobles or guilds. He gives them to villagers who can't sleep, to the widow who misses her husband's nighttime stories, to the farmer whose bones ache in the dark, to this child who fears the shadows between candlelight and sleep. He tells each of them softly, "Let the tick-tock walk you to your dreams, one step at a time." Now, as he pours himself a cup of warm spiced milk, the air smells faintly of nutmeg and cinnamon. He leans by the hearth, looking out through a small leaded window. Imagine you're there beside him. The night outside is so still, not silent, but peaceful. The kind of quiet that holds the sound of an owl's wings, the distant trickle of a stream, the occasional sigh of wind brushing moss-covered stones. Inside, the clocks continue their whisper song. You breathe in deeply and breathe out even slower. There's nothing for you to do now, nothing to plan, no time to keep. Eamon turns to a small shelf by the fireplace where a peculiar candle stands. It's called a Nuremberg time candle. In medieval times, such candles were marked with lines along the wax, each line measuring out a half hour. As the candle melted past each line, people knew how long had passed. He lights it now, the tip of the wick catching flame with a gentle pop. "Let this candle count dreams instead of hours," he murmurs. The flame flickers in rhythm with a nearby wall clock, casting long shadows that sway with the movement of tiny gears. Eamon closes his eyes, and for a moment, the clocks all seem to breathe. Tick, tock, tick, tock. And you drift deeper now, not just into sleep, but into the dreamscape of this village. A place where nothing rushes, where the world listens to time, not commands it, where you too are allowed to just be. In this town, no one carries watches. They follow the sun's slow arc, the roosters call, the church bells chime. Time moves like molasses down a slope, sweet and steady. And in this world, your worries cannot follow. Only comfort, rhythm, and peace. Eamon hums again, an old tune without words. A lullaby his father once sang when clocks were fewer and stars more numerous. It goes something like this. Hush, the hour is gentle. The shadow walks the wall. Time has left its sandals here, and dreams begin to fall. You can hear the wind play with the edge of that step song, carrying it over rooftops and into the rooms of the sleeping villagers. Let it carry you too, further now, your breath even, your body loose and warm. Soon Eamon will finish his cup and lean back in his chair. He'll listen to his clocks, not as machines, but as companions. Each one has a rhythm, each one a voice, each one a reason to pause and breathe. Tick, tock, tick, tock. You're almost asleep now, just a little deeper. Let the ticking take you. Let the warmth surround you. Let the world be still. The candle burns slowly now, its wax pooling around the base like melted moonlight. The little flame dances with a kind of reverence, never rushing, never reaching too high. Eamon watches it in silence, the same way he's watched time itself for decades, not to conquer it, but to understand it, and to rest within it. He moves with grace, his steps barely creaking the floorboards. In his hands he carries a pocket watch made of silver and rosewood, a gift he once crafted for a shepherd whose sheep would only rest when music played. This little watch, unlike the others, hums a tune when opened. Eamon turns the small brass key at the top, click, 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 then opens the lid. And there it is. A soft lullaby tinkles out like wind chimes on a summer night. No melody you've heard before, yet somehow it's familiar, like a song you once heard in a dream. The room holds its breath for a moment, and the clocks seem to slow. The candle flickers in agreement. Even the shadows lean in to listen. And now, so do you. You lean deeper into the chair you're imagining. Its back is carved oak, its cushion gentle beneath you. You're warm, you're safe, you're wrapped in a world that has no deadlines, no noise, no sharp corners, just rhythm and comfort and the hum of passing time. Eamon lets the tune play, then closes the lid gently. The ticking returns, soft and steady like a whisper in a still forest. Outside the window, clouds move lazily across the stars. The moon peeks between them now and then, spilling gentle light down onto the cobbled street. The village is asleep. The whole world feels paused, just for this moment. He walks to a cabinet tucked beneath the stairs, pulling from it a bundle of soft linen. Inside are sketches of clock faces and forgotten calendars, drawn not by rulers or kings, but by dreamers. One parchment shows a circle divided not by hours, but by emotions, joy at sunrise, peace at dusk, dreaming through the night. "We didn't always count time in hours," he whispers to no one in particular. Some counted it in the hush of birdsong, in the weight of a sigh, in the length of a story told by firelight. You feel your chest rise and fall. Time doesn't press against you here. It rests beside you, patient, kind. Eamon takes a moment now to feed the hearth, gently placing a small log into the glowing embers. The fire responds with a quiet crackle, soft enough not to startle, warm enough to fill the room with a golden glow. You watch the sparks drift upward like tiny stars seeking the sky. Breathe in that wood smoke. Let it curl around your senses. Let your limbs grow heavier, heavier, sleepier. In the far corner of the room, a small cuckoo clock chirps once, not a jarring sound, but a muted, sleepy little call. It's midnight now. The village bell tolls faintly in the distance, one long, slow note carried by the wind. Dong. And then, nothing. Just stillness, peace, quiet. Eamon smiles to himself and returns to his chair by the fire. He lifts an old woolen shawl from the back of it and wraps it gently around his shoulders. The same way you're wrapped now, in softness, in warmth, in the hush of a night that asks nothing of you. As the fire settles and the candle dips lower, he closes his eyes. He listens not with his ears, but with his whole being, to the ticking clocks, to the beating flame, to the silence between each sound. This, he murmurs, is what time sounds like when it rests. You let that sentence settle inside you. It echoes gently. It invites you further down, deeper, into slumber, into dreams. The chair supports you, the air holds you, the world waits for you to drift. Eamon does not speak again, nor do the clocks need to. They say all they need to with their rhythm. A rhythm older than kings, older than maps, older than worry. Tick, tock, you drift. Tick, tock, you sigh. Let your thoughts grow quiet. Let your breath fall into place with each beat. You are floating now, in time that asks nothing, promises peace, and offers only stillness. And so the clocks tick on. One by one their little wooden hearts beat in harmony. Eamon, wrapped in his shawl, breathes in time with them. Not because he must, but because he can. Outside his cottage, the air is cool and velvet dark. The stars blink slowly in the heavens, as if they too are falling into sleep. A soft wind winds its way through the quiet streets, brushing past shutters and ivy-covered stones. It carries with it the scents of lavender from the garden beds, and a touch of old parchment from Eamon's open window. In this village, even dreams take their time. There is no rush here, no noise, only softness and space to drift. Eamon's room grows dimmer as the candle burns lower. The golden glow now amber, then rose, then only ember. Its light flickers gently over the brass pendulums and polished wooden cases. Each clock sways with a different rhythm, but together they make a quiet music, an orchestra of stillness. Tick, tock, tick, each one a footstep into deeper sleep. He leans back now, his body settling into the old chair the way the sea settles around a dock. He's listening, but not just with his ears. He's listening to the quiet between the ticking, to the way time stretches, bends, rests. Eamon thinks of a saying, one his grandmother used to whisper when tucking him into bed on winter nights. When you hear the clocks breathe, the world is safe. And tonight the world is very safe. The fire dims to a soft coal glow. The candle flickers one last time and sighs itself out. Now only the stars light the room, but you can still see in your mind's eye. The cosy walls, the clocks lined like guardians, the peaceful man resting beneath their lullaby. And you're still with him, right there, held in the quiet. Maybe you're in the second chair beside the hearth, a blanket over your knees, a cup of warm milk in your hands, untouched, but comforting all the same. You can smell the nutmeg, still faint. You can hear the tiny chimes, barely there, like starlight turned to sound. Tick, Tock, slower now. You close your eyes, in the story and in your bed. You drift. You remember as you drift something else Eamon once said to a village child too frightened to sleep. The clocks will keep watch while you dream. Just as stars keep watch when the sun sleeps. Time does not mind if you let go. In fact, it prefers it. So you let go, even more. Your muscles like warm water, your mind like soft clouds, your breath slow and even, in and out, just like the gentle motion of the pendulum. You're floating now, not in the air, but in a space between stories and dreams, between memory and sleep, where every breath is a lullaby. And above you, high in the rafters of the watchmaker's house, hangs a wind chime made from broken clock hands. They tinkle just once, carried by the final drift of wind through the chimney flue. Their sound is like glass sighing, like silver leaves falling. Eamon doesn't move. He doesn't need to. This is his favourite hour, the hour when everything is quiet and time itself seems to nap. You're there with him still, but only just. You're drifting into the dream behind the dream. The place where clocks don't tick, but simply glow, where time hums instead of measures, where everything is calm. And in this dream, the village continues on. The baker sleeps by her empty oven. The shepherd snores with a dog curled by his boots. The children sigh in their beds, clinging to soft woolen toys. And above them all, the clocks tick softly on. Tick, tock. You are not alone. You are wrapped in rhythm, in comfort, in stillness. And now, sleep comes completely. Somewhere in the quiet folds of the village, a new sound begins to bloom. Not loud, not sharp, but something like a memory wrapped in velvet. It's the smallest of clocks, so small it fits in the palm of a child's hand. Eamon keeps it in a tiny drawer beside his chair. It doesn't chime, it doesn't even tick loudly. Instead, it purrs. A soft hum, like a sleeping kitten, or a gentle breeze against a silk curtain. He opens the drawer, lifts the little clock in his hands, and closes his eyes. This one, he whispers, was made not to keep time, but to remind us we don't have to. He places the clock on the mantel. Its soft hum joins the faint rhythm of the pendulums and gears. And now, the whole room feels like it is breathing. Inhale, exhale, like the walls themselves are alive, like the beams and books and bricks are dreaming along with you. And now, even the clocks begin to fade. Their ticking slows, not because they've stopped, but because you've passed beyond the place where ticking matters. You've entered the stretch of night where time takes off its shoes and tiptoes through the mind. Let yourself drift into the deeper quiet. Let it hold you like warm hands cupped around a candle. Eamon too is almost asleep. His head leans to one side, his breath shallow and even. The shawl has slipped from one shoulder. The fire is just faint red glow now, like rubies buried under ash. In this hush, dreams begin to rise, and what dreams they are. You can almost see them floating in the corners of the room like low mist, some shaped like stars, some like forgotten songs, one shaped like a clock made of feathers. Each one turns slowly in the dim light as though time has melted into memory. And you're a part of them now, no longer just watching, but dreaming alongside. Maybe you find yourself walking slowly through a forest near the edge of the village, a place where the trees bend gently over the path, and each leaf glows faintly in the dark, as though time itself hangs from the branches. You follow the path at your own pace. No one is waiting. There's no need to hurry. Your feet make no sound, only the rustle of your thoughts moving aside for stillness. In the forest, time does not tick. It trickles, like water over stone. You dip your hand into a brook where the water flows upward. You smile, because here even the river dreams. You sit on a mossy rock and listen. The sound, not a clock, but the echo of old lullabies, those half-remembered tunes from childhood naps and rain-washed windows. Eamon's voice is far now, but soft enough to still reach you. Let the clocks tick without you. Let the minutes move on their own. You are not needed there. You are needed only here. And here is enough. More than enough. Because here is warmth and stillness and the sound of the world breathing. Here is where the stars are close enough to whisper. Here is where sleep folds around you like an old friend's cloak. The little clock on the mantel still hums, but now it feels a world away. You have stepped fully into the dream. You're inside the story now, not just hearing it. You're the watcher, the listener, the dreamer, and the forest welcomes you. You lie back on the soft earth, watching the slow turn of stars through leafy canopies. Each star pulses once, like the beat of a heart, then again slower, then once more. Tick. Tock. The last sound before complete sleep. Eamon's workshop fades to mist. The village curls into darkness. The clocks, the bells, the fires, they all fall into stillness. Only your breath remains, only your quiet presence in the middle of a sleeping world. Time is not needed here, only peace, only dreams. The forest beneath your resting body is no longer just earth, it is memory. Soft patches of moss glow faintly, as if lit from beneath by moonlight too old to remember its own name. Each leaf overhead moves like it's breathing, as if it too is falling asleep beside you. There are no sounds now, only the memory of sound. The way fire crackles in its final ember. The hush of a page being turned. The way a heartbeat feels from the inside, all of it fading, not disappearing, but transforming. Eamon's workshop is far behind you now, its ticking clocks and glowing hearth no longer visible, but they remain, like an anchor below deep water, holding you safe as you drift through the dark. You float across the memory of the village, gliding above rooftops where moonlight rests quietly on shingles, over sleeping animals curled in hay, past the shuttered windows where dreams rise like warm breath against cold glass. You are not watching the world now, you are part of it. The village has accepted your stillness. Time has bowed its head to your presence. You pass by the bell tower, where even the great bell has fallen silent. Its clapper rests still, and a single owl roosts within it, eyes half-lidded in half-sleep. Even the night creatures sleep lighter when you pass. And the clocks? They continue to tick, somewhere, but now their ticking has become your breath. Soft, gentle, even. You're no longer counting time, you're being counted by time and cherished by it. Below, the cobblestone streets are worn smooth, not from rushing feet, but from centuries of calm walks, from children skipping stones, from storytellers pausing mid-sentence, from barefoot steps between dreams and waking. It is a place that remembers stillness, that honours sleep, that holds on to quiet, and now it holds you. The trees sway in the breeze, and with them your thoughts begin to sway too. Left, right, like a cradle in the wind, soft, slow. This is the rhythm your mind knows best. Not the ticking of urgency, not the clanging of hours, but this, the wind, the trees, the hush. The clock in Eamon's mantle still hums, but now it sounds like a lullaby stretched out over miles. A song you once knew in a life you haven't lived yet. A promise that time can be soft and kind and quiet. You turn slowly in your dream. The moss is warmer now, as if the earth itself wants you to rest longer. No footsteps, no voices. Only the breath of a world that has chosen to pause just for you, this moment, this place, this peace. You can stay here as long as you like. There is no morning waiting with expectation, no clock ticking down to the next task, only this soft space, and your breath, and the warm pulse of the night. And just when it seems the dream might dissolve into stillness forever, you hear it again, faint, distant. Eamon's voice barely more than a breeze. Sleep is not a place you visit. It's a village, just like ours, and tonight you live there. And you do, with every breath, with every gentle heartbeat. You belong to the hush now, to the slow turn of stars, to the rhythm of dreams, and the clocks, they keep ticking somewhere in the world you've left behind for now. But you are beyond them, beyond time, beyond even dreaming. Only rest remains. Somewhere in the folds of this sleep place, this village made of dreams and silence, a bell rings, but not like before. This bell is not made of bronze or brass. It isn't struck by hammers or pulled by rope. It rings like memory does, soft and low, a vibration felt more than heard. It begins in your chest, a warm hum, echoing outward, through your limbs, through the moss beneath you, into the stars above. You don't need to move, you don't need to wake. The bell is not a summons, it's a song of acknowledgement. It says, you are here, you are resting, and all is well. Let that message bloom through your body, like warm water over cool skin, like a quilt tucked just a little tighter around your shoulders. Let it settle into the spaces between your ribs. Let it fill the corners of your mind that still hold light. Now, far in the distance, so distant it feels like remembering a childhood, Eamon stirs in his chair. He doesn't open his eyes. He doesn't need to. He knows the time, not because a clock told him, but because he felt it. The way a gardener feels spring returning in the soil, the way a bird feels dawn before the sun breaks. He smiles softly in his sleep, a breath of contentment escaping his lips. They've made it, he whispers to the dark. They're resting. And they are you. The room around him is almost entirely dark now. Only the faintest glow remains in the hearth, just enough to see the gentle curve of his cheeks, the peaceful slope of his shoulders. The clocks continue their lullaby, but some now tick slower. Some have even paused entirely, not broken, just respectful, honouring the hush. You're deeper now than you've ever been. Even your dreams are dreaming. You drift across memory, slipping past old thoughts like boats in a harbour, each one bobbing, anchored, but still at peace. There's no effort here, no reaching, only receiving. You pass by a dream shaped like a clock tower, its spire made of feathers, its hands made of moonlight. It does not tell time, it tells feelings. One side glows a soft amber. Safety. The other side pulses blue-white. Trust. Its pendulum swings not with seconds, but with breaths. You pass under it. You feel lighter. You're becoming the hush. And still, deep beneath everything, the soft tick-tock continues. Now it isn't just in the story, it's in you. A gentle heartbeat, a rhythm of rest, a melody only the stillest souls can hear. The moss beneath you begins to glow faintly, not because it must, but because it's grateful you're here, because even the forest dreams sweeter when you do. Overhead, the stars form a circle, 12 points of light. Like a clock in the heavens, each one pulses slowly, once every few moments, marking the time not in minutes, but in comfort. You do not need to track them. You do not need to understand. They are simply there, watching, whispering, just as Eamon's clocks do. You drift now to the final threshold, the place between story and silence, between thought and pure stillness, a place where nothing moves, and yet everything flows. You're safe here. You are whole. You are wrapped in the memory of clocks, in the breath of trees, in the slow grace of forgotten bells. Time is not holding you. Time is cradling you. And Eamon, still dreaming, still resting, still smiling beside the fire, as the last of the candle wax melts quietly down the side of the old brass plate. Tick, tock, sleep. In this deepest layer of rest, there is no need for story, only feeling. And what you feel now is a profound quiet, not emptiness, but fullness without weight. A gentle, glowing space that welcomes you, as if you were always meant to be here. Above, the stars continue to pulse. Their glow no longer distant. They feel close now, as though they are watching only you. And perhaps they are. Because in this dream world you are important. Not for what you've done, but simply for existing. You bring balance to this quiet. You are part of the reason the clocks tick peacefully. Why the owl rests easily. Why the fire dims without fear of fading. Even time, ageless and endless, has paused to watch over you. Not with urgency, but with wonder. You're in no hurry. The night stretches out like soft fabric, covering you gently from the weight of the waking world. And somewhere, still, always kindly, Eamon sleeps. He dreams of clocks that bloom like flowers, of hours that purr when you touch them, of bells that ring only when someone feels truly safe. And in his dream, he sees you. Not as a stranger, not even as a visitor, but as a dreamer finally home. He nods in his sleep, his breath in perfect harmony with yours, slow, soft, steady, as if his lungs had learned your rhythm long before you ever arrived. And maybe they had, because the world you rest in now has always been waiting for you. This story wasn't made to be finished. It was made to be entered. And you have entered it fully, beautifully, peacefully. The clocks, they are still ticking, but they are no longer counting time. They are counting a piece. Each tick a breath, each tock a whisper. Tick. You're safe. Tock. You're held. Tick. You're home. The forest that once held your dream body has faded into the soft mist of memory. You now rest in a space beyond dreams, a place of pure stillness, and that stillness is not empty. It is sacred. It is what the monks whispered to when their quills paused. It is what the baker tasted in the silence before the oven opened. It is what the watchmaker heard between the ticking of his favourite clock. And now it wraps around you, gently, lovingly, perfectly. There is nothing more to think, nothing more to do, no direction to go. You've arrived at last. And so the clock's slow again, just for you. Even the smallest ticking fades now, becoming part of your breath, your heartbeat, your sleep. Eamon's candle is gone. The fire is ash. The stars above blink once more, then dim. But you shine softly now within yourself, a light formed of peace and breath and dreams. You will not notice when this story ends, because you have already passed into the sweetest part of the night, the place beneath words, beneath clocks, beneath thought. Only calm remains, only softness, only stillness, and it is all for you. Segment 9. The world around you has vanished, not in the way things disappear, but in the way a candle melts into its own flame. What once was outside is now within. The clocks no longer tick beside you, they tick inside you, as slow as breath, as deep as dreams, as soft as the warmth behind closed eyes. You are not in Eamon's cottage anymore. You are the cottage. You are the fire's last glow, the ember that lingers, the scent of wood smoke caught in linen. You are the hum of the tiny clock on the mantel. You are the silence between each pendulum's swing. You are not resting in the dream, you are becoming it. Let your body fall even heavier now. Let your thoughts, what few are left, gently dissolve. You do not need them here, not in this deep. The night no longer feels long, it feels endless. And in this endlessness you feel no fear, only calm, only drift. Let yourself forget what time it is, what day, what year. They do not belong here. All that exists is now. And now is quiet. Now is warm. Now is sacred. Somewhere far beyond, the sun waits patiently behind a curtain of velvet sky. But it does not rush. It will wait. The world will wait. Because you, dear dreamer, have earned this rest, this pause, this floating. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to rise, not yet. Let your mind remain unhurried. Let your chest rise and fall, like the tide, like breath, like time itself. Inhale, feel the warm weight of peace filling your lungs. Exhale, feel every tiny tension melt downward, like wax from a candle. Inhale again, as if breathing in moonlight. Exhale slowly, as if sending out a lullaby. Eamon still sleeps, the clocks still hum, the world still holds you. The last of the stars shimmer like slow heartbeat echoes, each one pulsing once, then waiting, not fading, just resting. The village rests with you, the cat on the roof, the sleeping baker, the dreaming child with woolen toys, even the bell in the tower, even the very air. And in this collective stillness, you are more than just one dreamer. You are part of a long, gentle hush, the kind of quiet that only the oldest forests remember, the kind of quiet monks once kept for lifetimes, the kind of quiet a clockmaker builds one gear at a time, so someone like you can hear it in the night and feel safe. Tick, tock. No longer a call, no longer a measure, just a reminder. You are here, you are still, you are home, and there is nothing else to do. Let go, fully, finally. Let the last corner of your mind fall away like snow from a branch. Let yourself drift beyond story, beyond dreams. Let yourself rest completely. This night is for you. In the deepest heart of the night, there is a silence that feels like velvet. It isn't empty. It is full of warmth, of sawadipani, of rest so complete you forget you ever needed it. This is where you are now, not in the story, not outside it, but beneath it. Floating between layers of dream, wrapped in the hush of a world that's turned down its lights just for you. The clocks are long quiet. Their ticking has become so slow, so subtle, that even time has forgotten how to keep up. And still, nothing is missing. Nothing is broken. Because you are here exactly as you should be. Whole, safe, loved. Even if you don't feel it right now, somewhere deep inside you, your bones know, your breath knows. The oldest part of you, the quietest part, remembers. This is what peace sounds like. No sound at all, just presence, just warmth, just you. The stars have closed their eyes now. The trees do not rustle. Even the wind has gone to bed. The dream of the village, the dream that you entered so softly, has settled too. Its final breath a whisper. Stay as long as you like. And you will, because time no longer chases you here. There are no clocks, no bells, no footsteps, only sleep, only breath, only the cradle of night rocking gently on a tide made of silence. Even Eamon, somewhere back in his cottage, still sleeps. His head tilted to one side, mouth parted slightly in the way of the deepest dreamers, a soft smile on his face. Not because he's dreaming something, but because he is the dream now. His cottage no longer holds walls or floors or beams. It has become part of the great hush. His clocks are stilled, but they do not need to tick. They have served their purpose. They have guided you here, and now they sleep too. Let your body feel as still as theirs. Let your breath fall into the tiniest rhythm, like a feather settling on water. No tension, no motion, just being. You may feel like you've disappeared, but the truth is, you've arrived. Here, at the very end of the story, there are no more words, only feeling, only rest. Let go of even the story now. Let it float backward like a boat untethered, drifting into the fog. You don't need it anymore. You've made it. The world is asleep, you are asleep, time is asleep, and you are held in perfect quiet peace. Sleep, dear one. Sleep completely, sleep fully, sleep now.